Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back into another video. So, we're gonna be doing something a little different because over the past few weeks, when the beta was live, because it lasted for like a whole week, I think actually. So anyway, we're gonna be talking about Where Winds Meet. It's a open world wuxia action RPG developed by Everstone Studios, which is a Chinese studio, and it's being published by NetEase. Which NetEase they're probably one of the bigger publishers in China. So again, this game is based on China. The game took place during the chaotic Five Dynasties in the Ten Kingdoms era after the fall of the Tang Dynasty. So it's obviously it's a big open world. Like this game, just based on what I played so far, it's pretty darn big. It should be noteworthy that this game can be played in either solo or you can play it with friends and co-op. I played it strictly as a single player game, so keep that in mind as I talk about the game. So again, I never played any multiplayer aspect of this game. Maybe at some point when the full release, maybe, but again, if you want to play strictly a single player game, there you go. You can do that. It will be available on PC, PlayStation 5, and mobile. The game is already out in China. It's actually been since late last year, right after Christmas, actually. So it's now coming out, essentially for the rest of the world, later this year. They didn't say an exact release date yet, but considering that this is quote unquote the final beta, so chances are they're probably close. So maybe it'll be out in like say, I don't know, October, November. Who knows? Again, who knows? Just depends on when they're ready. But yeah, so again, this is just the exploration aspect. So there's many different options you can do. There's obviously horse riding. There, as you just saw, there's a construction mode. I didn't play too much with it, but it's cool that's there for those who actually kind of want to do that kind of thing. And like in Witcher, you could just call your horse over. So there you go. Now, how's the combat? Well, let's delve into that, shall we? You notice by the UI, it's kind of similar to Ghost of Tsushima, where there's different playstyles. There's also it focuses mainly on melee, with melee weapons like swords and all that. But however, there is also arrows, as you'll see later in a little bit. So yeah, if you've played and enjoyed the combat of Ghost of Tsushima, you'll probably like the combat of Where Winds Meet. So just putting that out there. So if you like Ghost, you'll probably like this one to a certain degree. So again, pretty darn similar. So I mean, it's definitely taken inspiration from other open world games, like again, Ghost of Tsushima, Witcher 3, Red Dead Redemption 2, that kind of thing. Just a couple examples out there. You know what I mean? So again, that's the combat for for almost said Ghost, but this is obviously Where Winds Meet here. Now, since it's an action RPG inside in a massive open world, you guessed it, the game has a skill tree. And so there's actually three different sections. Obviously, I mostly played, again, there's arena, so it sounds like a PvP aspect to it. I did not play around with that, so I only play the game strictly as a single player game, so we're not going to be talking about. There's also skill trees for boss battles too, which is interesting. I'm sure I'll delve further into that in the final game, I'm sure. But yeah, so I mean, like most RPGs, there you go. There's your skill tree. So there's also many different tiers of it too. Like there's offensive, and there's your general, there's actual movement. So once you further into the game, you'll actually unlock these special abilities that you can choose to a specific slot. Whether it's for puzzles, area debuffs, you kind of get the whole idea, right? So again, very customizable experience with this game. So there you go, which is pretty darn cool, I would say. So props to the developers on that one. Anyway, continuing. So yes, the game is free to play. So let's address the elephant in the room, which is monetization. Okay, based on what I've seen from this, it's not pay to win, which is a massive good sign. Really good sign, especially because it's free to play. You kind of get with that kind of thing. That's what we're gonna be dealing with, right? But I can say though, however, is that based on what I played, it seems I was able to unlock mostly everything in the cosmetic shop by not paying for anything, which is interesting. Now, if they keep that in the final game, that's going to be a massive, massive win for this game, truly. But will it remain that way? Time will tell. We'll see as time goes on. But the fact that I didn't have to pay anything in the beta, hopefully, is a good sign. I'm hoping so because again, that would be a big win. You know what I mean? Because if we've seen with other free to play games where that is not where aggressive monetization can ruin a game, like we've seen that time and time again. Anyway, moving on. And so this is kind of the map of the open world. As you can see here, I was, obviously solo. There's fast travel by activating these stones, as you can see randomly throughout the map. And there's also these wayfinders. Once you find them, it'll actually, that's kind of how you unlock the map, where you can view where everything is, such as like quests, all that. There's both main quests and side quests, like any open world RPG, right? So again, there's fast travel is obviously available. So big thing, especially for a big open world, right? So that's kind of all I have to really say about the map, really. I should note, with certain quests, I'd say the writing for the main story has actually been pretty darn good, honestly. Like, there was like a big moment where the boss battle was really darn cool. Like, I had a lot of fun with that boss battle. That was pretty damn cool. If all the boss battles are like that, man, this game is going to be killer when the full game is released. It's going to be awesome. If all the boss battles are like what I saw. Now, again, back to the quests. Since there's options for both solo and multiplayer, there are going to be quests that require you to be in co-op. Again, I skipped those because I strictly played the game as if it was a single player RPG. I have a gut feeling that's going to be where a majority of my time with the game will be, because I do plan on playing the final game. Because I am very interested now, especially after I played the beta and I really had a good time with it. Now, let's final verdict. Okay, what do I think of Where It Wins Me after playing the beta? I like it. It has a lot of potential to be really darn cool. Like, really cool. And the fact that I was able to unlock a lot of the cosmetics just by playing the game is another good sign. Like I noted in the shop portion of this video. Very good sign. Like, I'm not seeing anything truly red flags here. It just seems like sometimes, like, where it's too good to be true, you know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't even seem real after I played it. Like, it's kind of cool. Obviously, this is only a small portion of the game. Like, of course, there's a lot, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to do. And before I forget, there is a battle pass. I almost forgot to mention that, so I thought I'd bring it up here. So, can I recommend Where Winds Meet? Maybe. We'll see when the final game is released, so, because I only played, what, like 10 hours? I think it was like 10 to 12 hours of the beta from the time I was able to play it, and I had a pretty damn good time with it. So I think if you kind of trust my word, I guess, if you agree with what I'm saying here, so yeah, I would definitely recommend it. If you got one of the platforms, it's going to be available on that launch. It should have come out later this year, because that's what they keep saying, that the game is still coming out this year. So it's going to be pretty tricky where this game ultimately lands, because of the fall seemingly is going to be pretty loaded, with stuff like the Mafia Old Country that's coming out in like a week, in a few days. Then we also got other stuff, coming out, like, Ghost of Yotai. It's going to be interesting to see how those two games compare, especially as both of them are going to be on PlayStation Day 1. So it's going to be very interesting to see where it lands. But ultimately, though, I say Where It Wins Me is looking pretty darn good. Very good sign. I'm generally very positive about it so far, but we'll see what happens with the final game. So if you like this video, hit the like button. If you've played the beta, what did you think of Where It Wins Me? Let me know down in the comment section below. I'm very curious to see what your guys' opinion are, and I will see you on the next one. Till then, have a good one.